Problem recreating BCD on Windows 7 64-bit, the requested system device cannot be found. NVIDIA drivers upgrade crashed my Windows 7 installation, so I'm working to undo the damage. What I can do, I can boot Windows install from the USB drive, and I can boot the Heron's boot CD. Although automated Windows repair fails, I can get to command prompt when I boot Windows install from USB drive, and I can see my drive and all my data. What I cannot do, I cannot boot into Windows. I get this message. It seems that something is wrong with my /boot/BCD, so I'm trying to recreate it from scratch. I've tried all the methods detailed here, including Windows repair which fails, and I'm left with the last one, near the bottom of that page. When I type the following command is in the tutorial. It fails for the following error. Many Google results say that I must use diskpart to set my partition active, however it's already set as active. Also, when I try this, it fails with similar message. Does anyone know what does that error message mean, and what is the requested system device? I'd like to avoid having to reinstall Windows since all the files on disk seem to be fine.
So, here's how I finally solved it. Recreating BCD as in the nuclear holocaust chapter of the tutorial I mentioned in my question worked in the end, but with one small modification. I got the idea in this thread. It seems that the message I got was telling me that bcdedit cannot find a BCD store. So, instead of typing this, I only needed to manually point to the store. This is also needed for the rest of commands in tutorial. With that modification, all the commands in tutorial work as expected. When I recreated BCD, I was able to boot my original Windows.
Not directly related to your issue as you resolved it, but rather to your original description, particularly the requested system device cannot be found on BCD operations despite all attempts to recreate/rebuild. This error can happen if you are booting from a USB stick, and your BIOS supports a given USB slot, but the Windows P/repair environment does not. I spent 2 days pulling my hair out, wrestling with this issue. The BCD store was always unavailable with this. The requested system device cannot be found. Error, no matter what I did, only to find that the problem was simply the USB slot I was plugging my bootable USB stick in. By plugging it into a different, USB 2.0 instead of USB 3.0, slot, the standard repair actions worked fine. To make matters worse, I later discovered that it was by plugging in the wrong slot and allowing the rescue environment to attempt auto repair that I messed things up in the first place. Update: another user, Improved Computers, contacted me to confirm that this also happened to them. As all their USB slots were unrecognized by Windows 7P, they ended up having to pull the drive and perform the repair on another computer. Update: I had hard time even reinstalling Windows on my laptop. From this post I learned and realized the Windows 7P does not recognize USB drive. Although it booted from the USB drive image, due to some reason it was not able to start up the installation process. After a whole day of efforts, finally I tried it with DVD and it worked. I am using Lenovo W520.
Nothing from other answers helped in my case, and I had no the ability to load the Windows RE from the DVD. Hopefully this answer trapped into my eyes. I tried solutions from link guides and finished with no BCD at all. Actually, I don't know if it was there in the start. So, the thing that saved me from reinstalling the whole system was. Hope it will help someone. Update: this finally worked for me with one small modification. My issue was a combined problem of many listed here: booting from stick, screwing the initial working boot. My problem was that re-registered my Windows drive as d:\/ while it was c:\/ normally. Running with boot.x d:\/ did the trick.
The same problem appears when the Windows installation on disk is configured for UEFI boot, but the repair process is attempted from commands stored on a USB drive which has been booted in non-UEFI legacy mode. So, imagine you have a bootable Windows 8 setup USB drive which cannot be booted in UEFI mode, but only in legacy mode. One might think that one can simply change the BIOS setting from UEFI boot to legacy boot. And, in fact, after this change the USB drive can be booted, and one can access the Windows command prompt, of course. However, in that situation one cannot repair the Windows installation on disk which has previously been installed and used in UEFI mode. In that scenario, boot mode legacy and boot from Windows 8 installation USB drive, execution of boottrack/rebuild fails with, the requested system device cannot be found, and cdboot c:\/ fails with, failure when attempting to copy boot files. The solution is to create a proper UEFI bootable USB drive, with for example Rufus as described here, and then to switch the BIOS from legacy boot mode back to UEFI boot mode, followed by booting from the USB drive. The repair process started from there was successful in my case, cdboot c:\/ then succeeded with, boot files successfully created. The original problem was error code 0xC0000034, boot configuration data file missing required information in Windows 8, as discussed here.